I guess he could potentially cast it if it was instant speed. Oh my god. That's a game. What a great finish. Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm TOS and you're watching Hello Good Game. Today we are playing Best of 3 Esper Hero Control. Now this is a deck we've not really seen in the meta too prevalently. A little bit in Best of 3, but almost not at all in Best of 1. It would appear that Esper is dead. However, I feel when it comes to the tournaments, we're still going to see a lot of Esper control. It's still a really good deck. It hasn't changed a lot, and we do see a lot of Esper hate come into the game recently, with protection from blue, protection from white, etc., etc. But I think it's still a really good contender, and it's got a lot of power behind it, and we're able to answer a lot of things. Excuse me. So getting into the deck, we have 4 heroes, the Precinct one. So whenever you cast a multicolored spell or creature, it's going to create a 1/1 human creature token. So you'll see the whole deck is multicolored, basically, right? We have D-Spark. This is exiling target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or greater. So this is removing any other planeswalkers you're going to come up against, or I guess potentially any big creatures. We like to save this for planeswalkers, though, because it is permanent. We do have 4 Thought Erasures. This card's been broken for a long time. You get to look at your opponent's hand, choose a non-land card from it, and discard that card. So we're talking creatures and instants and sorceries. And then you're surveilling 1 from your own deck, which is great. So you're looking at the top card. If you like it, stays there. If you don't, goes to the graveyard. So we use that to throw land away normally. Narset, Parter, and Veils. These are the start of our 3 drops. So this has a static ability of each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, and this really wrecks a lot of things, right? It even shuts down Big Teferi, which is great. It's +1. Teferi, her -2 is look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put them into your hand, or put it into your hand, and the rest in the bottom of your library in any order. So this is great. We're drawing planeswalkers with this. We're drawing our removals, our D-Sparks, any utility that we're going to need. At the moment, we're drawing with her -2. Teferi Time Raveler. Each opponent can cast spells can cast spells anytime they could cast a sorcery. Excuse me. Each opponent can cast spells only anytime they could cast a sorcery. So this means no instant spells unless it's on their main phase. Nothing on the stack, even if it is in their main phase, right? Because you can't cast a sorcery on top of another sorcery. You have to resolve it first. Its +1 ability is until your next turn, you may cast sorcery spells as if they've had flash. And if you watch the last match of this video, you'll actually see me win the game with this ability because we instant speeded a Thought Erasure, blocked out a Grixis, so that was great. -3, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand, draw a card. This is great in a lot of ways. So we can use this on our own permanents, and we can also use this on our opponent's permanents. So it's really great for bouncing, say, an Elite Guard Mage back to your hand, or a Hostage Taker back to your hand, even an Oath of Kaya back to your hand. So you could replay them, right? So really powerful ability right there. Also, if your opponent plays any token creatures, we can just kill those, delete them, right? Anything big, we just put it back to his hands, buy us a turn, which is actually quite useful. Is half a turn, right? So Oath of Kaya for 3. This is dealing 3 damage when it enters the battlefield, and you gain 3 life to any target. And whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control, you're gaining 2 life, and it deals 2 damage to that attacker as well. The player, not the creature. Elite Guard Mage is our first 4-drop. Now we have 3 of these in our main deck. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life and draw a card, and it's a flyer, and it's a multicolored spell. So there's a lot of value there potentially. We also have Hostage Taker, and now when this enters the battlefield, you exile a target creature or artifact your opponent controls until Hostage Taker leaves the battlefield. You may cast that card as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as if it were any color to cast that spell. So that's really cool. You'll see this used a lot today as well. We're just stealing everything good our opponent plays. We also have 4 Teferi, Hero of Dominarias. This card is absolutely broken, and it's going to cycle out soon. So we're going to get the most juice out of these lemons while we can. This +1 ability is draw a card at the beginning of your next end step, untap up to 2 lands. -3, put target non-land permanent into its owner's library, 3rd from the top. And -8, you get an emblem with whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent an opponent controls, which will just win you the game, right? We also have a single copy of Command the Dreadhorde. This card is the only card more broken than Teferi, just for the fact that you can take Teferi back, plus other things, right? So it costs 6, which is pretty heavy. It's one of our highest drop cards. So you can choose any number of target creatures and or planeswalker cards in either graveyard, and it deals damage to you equal to the total mana converted cost, equal of those cards, and then you put them in the battlefield under your control. So say Teferi costs 5, Elite Guardsmage costs 4. If I take those two from the graveyard, I'll be taking 9 damage, at which point afterwards I'll gain 3 from the Guard Mage. Right? You can even take multiple Guard Mages, and then each Guard Mage would only cost you 1. But be warned, the damage does take effect first, and then the triggers will go. So don't count on the Guard Mage life not killing you, because you're going to have to pay 4 for each of those up front. You're just going to be reimbursed or refunded that life afterwards once those triggers fire. Bolas Citadel. You may look at the top card of your library anytime, so it's just going to stay flipped in the game, basically, because you don't flip it when you're playing paper, because then your opponent won't see it. You may play the top card of your library if you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its converted mana cost rather than paying its mana cost, which is great, so you can play with life, which is really cool as a control deck, especially when we have all this life gain worked into the deck. And then we can tap and sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, and each opponent loses 10 life, so we could use this as a finisher. Getting into our land, it's just our basic land. We have 4 Watery Graves, 4 Drowned Catacombs, 2 Temple of Silence, 3 Isolated Chapel, and 4 Godless Shrines. Also 4 Hallowed Fountains, 4 Glacial Fortresses, and only 1 Swamp. So that's all fine and dandy. Getting into our sideboard, though. Here we go. We have 2 Duress, 2 Devout Decree, 2 Aethergust, 2 Elder Spell, 2 Dovin's Veto, 2 Cry of the Carnarium, 2 Unmoored Ego, and 1 Kaya's Wrath. Make sure you check out the sideboard guide down below to learn how to interact with all these cards in the different kinds of matchups that you're going to be seeing. But Duress is great if you need to get rid of those planeswalkers early, just to get a visual on your opponent's hand. If they're playing a red burn deck, potentially you're getting light up the stage, something like this. But it's non-land, non-creature, so you're limited to sorcery, instants, and planeswalkers here. So any deck that's got those in them, you're using Duress. Devout Decree, exile target permanent or planeswalker that's black or red. Again, anytime you're playing against anything that's black, this card goes in. It's absolutely amazing with the Scry 1 ability. Can really save the day and allow you to set that forward pace, having a good draw. Aethergust is 2 costs with blue. Choose target creature, spell, or permanent that's red or green. Its owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. How about that lightning, boys? Woohoo! Yeah, so this is kind of good, kind of not bad. It's great in the fact that you get to stun your opponent a turn. It's like a Teferi ability, only for green and red. They're almost never going to put it on the bottom of their library, let's be honest. So it's going to go to the top of their library 90% of the time. However, it's still nice. It's better than bouncing it just to their hand, because it's going to eat their draw turn up as well, right? And if they're relying on a land and they needed that land draw, now they're stuck with a stupid fucking creature draw, right? So we also have the Elder Spell for 2. This is destroying any number target of planeswalkers. Choose a planeswalker you control. Put 2 loyalty counters on it for each planeswalker destroyed this way. So this is great for powering up your Teferi to 8. It's also great with dealing with enemy planeswalkers. You could even rebuff your Narset if that's the only option available. You could also kill your little Narset and your Narset and your little Teferi once they're kind of burnt down to 1, right? And then you're getting 4 tokens if you have them both out on your Teferi, which will expedite that process. We have 2 Dovin's Veto. We already have 2 of these in the main deck. There's 2 of them in the sideboard as well. This is great for the Planeswalker decks, again, other control matches, even decks against the mono-red burn. Cry of the Carnarium is also really, really good against the mono-red. We suffer fall victim to this quite often when we're playing our red deck wins. It's great for getting rid of the Llanowar Elves as well. Paradise Druids, this will eat up. So there's a lot of utility with Cry of the Carnarium. The only place I don't really care for it is against the Elementals, even though it does take out Risen Reef. It's almost a judgment call at this point. Make the call. Are you getting bashed down? Obviously, mono white, this card's going in there immediately. Unmoored Ego, I really like. It's kind of a weird one to play because it's a wasted turn, but if you're in control and can get away with it, it'll really cement the win. Obviously, just identify your opponent's greatest threat in his deck and take it, right? If it's a Nissa Simic ramp deck, you're taking Nissa. If it's a Esper control deck, you're probably taking Teferi, right? So just identify the biggest threat in the deck you're playing against, and Unmoored Ego is the answer. And we also have an extra Kai's Wrath if you're getting just aggroed out, so that's great. So that's the deck. We did really well with it today, a lot better than I thought I would do. I think you guys will really enjoy today's footage. It's quite exciting. Probably a couple of misplays as well. If you wanted to shout those out in the comments, I'm always looking to learn. And I really appreciate those of you who speak up and help teach me. I wouldn't be here doing this without any of you guys, so thank you. And a quick reminder, as always, it seems, we're giving away 500,000 gems to our subscribers. So if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, take the second, slap that subscribe button, and roll the dice on 500,000 in gems, 500,000 gems. And also a reminder to our Phase 2 giveaway winners. Get in the Discord link. It's down below in every video now. Join the Discord. Reach out to me. And yeah, we're going to send you those gems you won. And then you can open those packs and share with us all what you got, what you spent them on. Maybe play some drafts. Share your results with us. We're really excited to hear and see what you've been doing with them, right? So that's that. I hope you enjoyed today's footage. And we will check you guys all out tomorrow. Take care and have a great day. All right. So, shout out to, Esper decks and my inability to play them. So make sure to comment all my mistakes down below, please. I am looking to get a lot better at the Teferi cancer, I suppose. I shouldn't hate on it as much as I do. It's a great deck. And I think it still holds a lot of validity in the meta, especially in tournaments. It's pretty heavy, but we'll keep it just because we can turn 2 Thought Erasure and turn 3 Teferi. And our opponent does mulligan, so that's always a good sign off the start. Temple of Mystery. So let's see exactly what we're dealing with. Is it Simic or Scapeshift? Interesting. So it is a Reanimator deck. I guess let's get rid of Tombbound Lich. Our land can go to the bottom. Pretty lucky land drop on his part. I wasn't expecting the Thought Erasure. And that's basically a good game for us. Let's get our Guard Mage out for a draw. That should help us. But of course it's a land. I even trimmed a land from this, so not always a great sign, but at least we can get some attacks in here. I mean, it'll only take 10 turns, but we'll get there, right? Oh my god. I suppose I should drop my Watery Grave just because he can see it. So we'll hide a little bit more of our deck from him, or our hand at least. Right, we'll get rid of that here now. Oh, Land City. We can't play Teferi whatsoever. Literally, we can't do a goddamn thing. We need that counter spell dealt with. Tombbound Lich, pretty cool. Let's see what he throws away. Ah, land. That's a good sign. The Tombbound Lich does have lifelink, so it's basically just slowed us down to a crawl. But we can't block it, so we just have to continue whatever this is. We just went back up to 10 turns instead of 5, unfortunately. He does get to cycle with this too, which is really, really annoying for me. Probably tossing another land. Good for him. And he plays Massacre Girl. Still has room for 3. But we're going to despark this right now to pull out his counter. No counter. So, just nothing there. Let's get his counter out this way if we can. Right, now we can Teferi, which is great. He gets to surveil this time instead of us. Dropping our Teferi now because he is fully tapped. And getting that draw engine going.
No time for a break.
What is up with all this land, you guys? Continuing to bash and bash. Nice. He's assuming we have a counter. He wants to play something, but he doesn't want us to counter it, so he has to make sure we don't have it. Double land though, so drops a Narset, which is extremely helpful, let's be honest. That stuffs my draw, I believe, which is so annoying. I guess let's take his Tombbound Lich and cast it on him. Right? Just because our draw is stuffed. I guess we still have to discard, unfortunately. And we can only deal 2 damage, so let's -3 his Narset. And then continue the bash down. He sees my land, I guess, so we should have played that. Massacre Girl is not affecting us. And we're taking that too after we plus our Teferi, of course. Let's see what we get. A beautiful land. He has no white for Kai's Wrath, which is great. We should have dropped Massacre Girl after. But I'm not sure it matters at this point. Ritual of Suit won't get us. Scry of the Carnarium wouldn't get us. That's game. So we were playing against a mirror match, I believe. Kind of. What do we want? We probably want to drop Tyrant Scorn. At least 2 Tyrant Scorns. And let's take some Duress. Let's take 2 Duresses. And, he does have some green though, eh? So we should take Aethergust as well. And we'll drop Oath of Kaya. And we'll take an Elder Spell. Despark didn't really look like it was triggering, but neither was Tyrant Scorn. We probably could have put in some more Dovin's Veto as well. If we get land screwed though, you guys, this is not good. Luckily we won the first, so let's pray for the land. We do get it. And we're on turn 2 hero drops. Let's see if he's able to deal with that. Luckily, we have 2 of them. He does take my Teferi, though. You may want to keep Tyrant Scorn for the heroes, however. It would have been nice to start the turn out with a Thought Erasure just to see what we were playing against, right? If we can conceal command the Dreadhorde, we're sitting in a very good position. Plug my headphones in for a second. I noticed that my fan was probably going in yesterday's recording, so that's probably less than ideal for everybody's listening experience. I shut it off for today. So I'm debating whether I play my Hostage Taker now for no value and get 2 tokens, or if I hold it and probably have it Thought Erased. I would like to get some additional value out of it, but let's see what we come up against here. He may want to take my Bolas Citadel as well. A Hydroid Grixis. That is going to get absolutely destroyed. Except for the fact that I'm going to Hostage Taker. Here, and he sees our Hostage Taker, so there's probably something that he wants to play that he doesn't want us to take, but at the end of the day he could be stuck on draw, and I was going to play my Hostage Taker for the tokens anyways, so this way we're getting that additional value. we can survive this turn. So that's perfect. He does gain a little bit of life. We have so many options. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Let's just kill him. If he spell pierces us, we'll use Teferi to bounce it, and that's GG. Beautiful. We see the heroes in full effect here.
You'll thank me later.
Absolute massacre. That was actually relatively quick too, especially for an Esper matchup. Less than 15 minutes. All right, let's pray for a decent draw hand. That is not it. Neither's that. Let's drop our hostage taker and keeping the pipe dream alive. Hopefully we draw a Thought Erasure. Another Teferi, so we should have thrown our Teferi. This looks to be some Risen Reef, Scape Shift, Field of the Dead bullshit. Destroying Risen Reef, of course. We do that main phase so his land or elementals won't trigger anything. Marth will do a single damage to us, which is totally acceptable in my opinion. Let's be greedy, take a turn, drop our hero. We're going to continue to pull land. Oh my god, nice. Alright. So, we are going to need a few things to deal with this for sure. No blocks. We're just going to sacrifice our Teferi for the draw.
Right on schedule.
Popping land to his hand.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
We do get a Thought Erasure, but it's a little late for that, admittedly. We're in deep trouble already. So our Aether Gust goes in. Our D-Sparks go in. Kaya's Wraths go in. Our Dovin's Veto can go in. Our Cry of the Carnarium can go in. We got a lot of things we could put in potentially to deal with this. This is aggressive.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
Really bad position. So many Teferis.
The land fights for us.
Whatever, man. Okie dokie. Aether Gust goes in. Kai's Wrath goes in. Cry of the Carnamer actually stay out. Dovin's Veto will go in. What do we drop? I think we take our heroes out. And we need something else as well out. Hostage Shakers stay. Guard Mages should stay. Oath of Kaias should stay. Let's drop our Bolas Citadel. We're going to call our good there. And I'm going to hit the washroom really, really quick. Alrighty. So, not as bad of a hand. Let's see how it works out, though. We'll get the scry in first. Land can go. That way we can just pay 2 life if we do draw a Thought Erasure, right? Let's see what he plays for 3. Risen Reef. We're only countering non-creatures, unfortunately. So Dovin's Veto. We're saving for his Nissa. Unfortunately, we have to pay life for this.
If you show remorse, I'll show
Let's plus this turn.
This might be a bad idea.
Four land for an Omnarth, which is really good. Elemental gets to draw.
Stop that.
And he
now.
deals 2 damage to my Teferi. Striking it down for 1.
Don't worry.
I really want to take his Omnarth. Or do we cut him off at his land? I should probably take his land, and then he can't Nissa, and then we are still able to counter, but we do have the Aether Gust. Let's take his Risen Reef, actually. Just because so much value it produces, right? And that way he can't Omnarth our Hostage Shaker if he has a second in his hand. He does play Nissa, so we're going to have to deal with a land as well. We've kind of seen that coming, but
Behold, nature's true power.
it's one evil or the other, right? Unfortunately, no blockers here. We don't want to give him back his Risen
Really should have
Reef.
seen that coming.
Well, he gets to anyways. So he should have taken his Llanowar Elf. Unfortunately. At least we can counter his Nissa now because we put it to the top of his library. Elemental's really shutting us down here. Unfortunately, he's taking 9 damage this turn, and we're dead next. Unless we pull our Kaya's Wrath. Absolutely blasting us. And we do get to veto this. Ugh, and we draw a land. Not a Kaya's Wrath, that's for certain. And basically we're screwed at this point. Oh god. So a little bit of rough luck in the second matchup against Temur Elementals. Lapis Lazuli 007. This is a nice looking draw hand. We just need a plains, and we are all set. We have our turn 2 Thought Erasure. That's about it, actually. Paying life, playing his elf. Very interesting. Let's see what he wants to play with that elf. Oh my god. So this is disgusting. Let's get rid of his Grixis. Our plains is going to stay up top there for us. Next turn he has 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be 5. We have no counters available anyways, so we're fucked. We're gonna enter tapped. We should have paid life. There's nothing we could have done about this anyways, unfortunately. I could potentially hostage take his land. We'll see if that works. It should work. Right? Just cut him off at the source. Very large Hydra. Oh my god, nice. It fights target creature when it comes in, so we don't want it to fairy bounce it. We are so beyond dead right here, though. It's not even funny. Mass manipulation can go, land can go. And,
responsibility.
I guess we'll match 3
I
that
am
for
not
the
making this up
draw.
as I go.
4 we're dead. Looking for Kaya's Wrath.
The land fights for us.
It's only a matter of time.
Big money, big money, big money. Let's get our guard mage out. Not really drawing what we need, and we're not really looking to pay life for anything. We could grab his Hydra if he plays it again. Ideally. Oh my gosh. Entrancing Melody.
Spring eternal.
Just getting outvalued without the correct answers. Okay, smashed for 3. Let's play our Bolas Citadel. Kaya's Wrath, Oath of Kaya, which is really nice, except for his land has indestructible at this point. Let's kill his Leafkin Druid, I suppose. Just kind of cut off some mana if we can. And this is actually free to play, which is great. And now we're taking out his Guard Mage. Playing it to Teferi, which is great as well.
Sorry I'm late.
And we're able to bounce this land to his hand, which will draw us a card.
Here we go.
He plays another Nisa, which is
Let the tide
great.
find us all.
And it does come out with haste, which is a
Rise, my
bummer.
elemental friend.
He's going to kill my Teferi and kill me. Luckily, we do gain 2 life from the interaction, so we're only losing 1. Let's do it. We're going all in at this point.
Mind and body should move.
Let's
in
play the
unison,
land,
like wind and wave.
and we get a Tyrant Scorn. So we could cancel it. Let's do our -2
I
first.
have just the trick for this.
Let's take it to Teferi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 5 and 6 7s here. Do we want to Tyrant Scorn though? No, we'll save and use a blocker. We do have 2 planeswalkers out, so let's try to spread
This isn't a fight you can win.
the difference here. Let's get rid of his Nissa. We just don't want any more lands on the field this coming turn. Hopefully he's got no Nissa in his hand. The draw would have been great, but it's just a land. And we see this huge Hydra played. Takes out my hero. Which is acceptable, because now we can hostage taker it. Obviously, we're stopping as much damage as we can. We do get a D-Spark, which we're unable to play on any of his creatures. Let's get the Teferi draw in. And then let's do our Narset.
Keep an open mind.
I guess we're taking another Teferi, unfortunately. And we get to play the land. And we have a Tyrant Scorn. So let's hero into a Hostage Taker. Which could actually be this because we can Tyrant Scorn his Hydra. So we're going to take his land away. And we will destroy his Hydra, which is great value. Grab that secondary hero token for the turn. Untapping 2 lands. We should have done a black for our instant speed D-Spark. Oh well. It is only a Leafkin Druid, so that's acceptable. A Paradise Druid also acceptable. And a Llanowar Elf also acceptable. Very cool. We may have stabilized. Let's get the land out. Another land, unfortunately. I need a little Teferi to get this this Kaya in my hand over and over. Let's play it though. And we'll smack this Druid out of the way. We're attacking with 2 tokens. I imagine he will just take the damage, to be honest. Yeah. He's in a position where he's unable to attack my planeswalkers, which is great. So I will forever have my Teferi ready to roll. We will de-spark this immediately. Right? And then we're going to Tyrant Scorn the land that he played from it. Which is absolutely great. Return that to his hand because it does have indestructible. But we're still able to pop that to his handy hand. Which is great. Very groovy indeed. Let's play the land. We'll draw the Guard Mage.
Let's skip to the good.
So we're not paying life. And we will play the Guard Mage. Which is great. Get to draw this land out of the way. Oh, another land, unfortunately. One, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11. So we could deal 10 damage to him with our bolus, so we're getting close. We could obviously attack for 3 or 4 or 5. I'm not sure it matters. Let's get in there. He just takes it. And we have gone beyond stabilizing and have lethal. Good game. It's pretty wicked. turnaround via Bolas Citadel. So we need this Kai's Wrath. And we need this Duress. I almost want Unmore Ego to get rid of his Nissa, but we'll take Aether Gust instead. We're going to keep our hero. We're going to drop the Dread Horde. Let's take out a Teferi. Let's take out... really did save us, though. I guess Thought Erasure could be enough. Let's leave Duress. We'll keep Aether Gust. And we'll drop... Well, Despark is the same thing, but it costs the same, and it's a multi, which triggers our hero. So we're only going to run one Aether Gust. Because he does also get to pick where he puts it, so it's not the greatest. It's still helpful, but pretty annoying. This does look pretty tasty if we can draw some land. Just out with the elf immediately. Jesus. Alright, he is Nissa available. Unfortunately. Such a quick ramp. This is turn 3 Nissa. Very hard to contend with. Oh no, we have a Risen Reef enter first. Interesting. So we need a island. Just got fucked on lands, so that's probably game. No attacks. See what we can do. What's up, Cat? I didn't realize you were here. Sorry, bro. Just seen the chat. And now, what's up, everybody? Yeah, using all 100% computing power to try to play this Esper deck, which I have no idea how to do. We don't have to pay life, which is great. And we're kind of front-doored here. It's like we need rid of this Grixis, but we also first need to get rid of this Risen Reef. Just immediately get that gone. And then we could... Ooh! What a guy. So he just gave himself hexproof from blue and black. Jesus, what a great sideboard for our opponent. Oh, and he's just piling onto us. Takes one of our heroes out. Smashing us with the Grixis. We draw land, which does nothing at this point. And we're forced to get rid of the stupid Hydra. We'll do it instant speed, though. Even if we destroy it, he still has Leafkin Druid. Plays Nissa, makes us want to kill ourselves. Destroying his Hydra, grabbing a token.
Through this land, we are all connected. Behold,
Yeah,
nature's true
Teferi
power.
would have been the play, actually. Stacking one of these lovely tokens. Ooh, but he's gonna put it on the library, so we're gonna need to despark. So we can land to the library, despark his Nissa, I guess. And we want to do it now, so he can't. Oh, non-land permanent, I see. Is this not a permanent? I believe this is a green permanent, but it still counts as a land. God damn, that's annoying. So we have no choice but to despark.
I am in need of rest.
And I don't want to touch any of that, really. Especially not main phase. Let's see what he's got. Mass manipulation. Oh my god. That's game. Oops. Just had my mouse die here. Going into manual mode. Oh, lands aren't colored. They're colorless. I see. Because it costs 0. Interesting. Getting bashed and dashed. He's lethal next turn. Kai's Wrath. We get it. Hello. Welcome to the fucking game, brah. Into another Risen Reef, which is still pretty cool for our opponent, just for the fact that he gets to draw and draw and draw. Let's Guard Mage. Get the draw, play the lands. Now we have a blocker. Another Paradise Druid, which we are totally safe from. Playing the land and absolutely taking this Risen Reef. That's mine. And yeah, let's start the damage game up here. What an absolute turnaround. The luckiest draw in the world. Playing his Risen Reef as soon as possible. Getting the draw, which is amazing. And I'm not even going to... I am going to Thought Erase it. If it's a land, it's a land. If it's not, it's not. We still get the Surveil, which is worth it. And just like that, let's get in for 2. Played his land because we've seen it. And what in the world could we face here? Hydroid Grixis, a giant Hydroid Grixis, an 8/8. Shit. How are we gonna deal with this? I guess we Teferi minus
I can no longer
one of
stand by
these
and
elves. Let's get that over there. An elite guard mage. We should have played our hero first before our Teferi. That's a huge mistake. Whoops. Not a huge mistake. A minor mistake, if you will. We are looking for a removal. We need a Tyrant Scorn ASAP here. Um, yeah, we should have done the instant speed thought erasure. I'm gonna let Teferi die because we have a backup, and I'd rather just keep the health alive and
According to plan.
prolong our draw as long as we can. Right? Let's throw it. Another Teferi here. Oh, does he have a counter spell? Interesting. That's okay. Honestly. It could be worse.
This isn't a fight.
I'm gonna be that guy. And I'm gonna take my hostage shaker back. So I can deal with his Grixis.
Let's try this.
And we do drop a Citadel, which is great. 1, 2, 3. Do we need the 4th? I think we do. And he has Hexproof right now, so we're just going to Guard Mage. Gain 1 life from the interaction, plus a token, plus gain a card, which is great. That's the whole name of the game. And, yeah, we do have 1 flyer to block, so let's get this attack for 2 in. Hopefully we don't see a Nissa. We don't really have an answer for that yet. We will protect our Teferi this go around though, with our flyer. He's gonna fight our hero, which it's good, it's good. Oh, the Grixis has trample. I see. Shit. I'm just gonna take it. Let's get rid of this next turn. Both Citadels out of the question.
That's more like it.
This Grixis belongs to me now. Let's cast it for 2. Gain a life, draw a card. One, 2, 4, 5, 6. Let's get these flyers in. We gotta win this match somehow, right? Mass manipulation would just fuck our day up. Not overly concerned with his adapt, other than it gives him more mana. Paradise Druid, I'm okay with that. Llanowar Elf, I'm okay with that. Leafkin Druid, I'm okay with that. Where is our Kai's Wrath? Let's get that out. So, we do want to kill this. right? So let's go 2, 4, 5, 6. Kind of wipes our field, but we have really no choice. He does have some trickery, which is, I don't know what, though. Just running the numbers, I suppose. Drawing a land's but the worst possible thing we could ever do right now. We've no choice but to play another guard mage. And another land, getting absolutely bizoned here. One, two, three, 4 attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders. Let's continue the assault. Going, well, I guess it doesn't matter. It'll give us the choice. Maybe not. Let's go full control just to make sure. Yeah, I think we're going to Citadel this next turn here. It's pretty risky, though. Oh, he plays a land, which is great. Let's see if he even attacks. If he doesn't, we're going to save our Aether Gust. Get rid of that. I almost want a -3 on our hero. You think just take the druid? Probably, eh? Snagging his Leafkin. We have a wicked lightning storm out today. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let's play his druid. And it's an elemental, so we get to draw, which is the coolest thing, and we played Narset. No? You didn't like that? I love the Narset draw. Which brings us to Teferi. Just playing one of our lands tapped. We will minus next turn. We don't want to kill him. 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. We'll get 2 guard mages in this turn. Screw it, let's do all 3. See Incubation come back to the field, which is fine. I think we were able to stall him out enough. Oh! Let's take our draw first. We have a Teferi, we'll instant speed Thought Erasure, but I really wanted to -3. But we will instant speed Thought. This can come in tapped. Our Oath of Kaya can come out because I love the life. We'll smack his Llanowar Elf with that. I gotcha. I mean, I guess the reason I targeted Incubation Druid over Leafkin Druid was the fact that Incubation Druid was going to force me to block. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can't cast anything if we want to instant speed. We have lethal right here, don't we? Well, no, he's got 3 blockers. We do next turn, though. Let's see what we got. I guess he could potentially cast it if it was instant speed. Oh my god! That's a game! What a great finish. Cool beans. Stacking in the wins. We've been here for... because I wanted to instant speed... Thought Erasure, I suppose. It worked out very well, friend. However, with that, we're going to call it quits. We've been here for over an hour playing Esper Control. I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. I hope you guys are enjoying the new content and the new sideboard guides. Make sure to check those out. And if you've not yet subscribed to the channel, do so, and you'll be entered to win a bunch of gems, 500,000 in fact. 500,000. All you need to do is subscribe to the channel. Easy as that. Any comments and engagement on top of that is just a bonus and greatly appreciated. We'll see you guys all tomorrow, right? Take care and have a great day.